Yo, testing, 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 testing. We in the building, baby. What's up? Yo, man, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. We here. What's up, people? It's your man, Tim Black. Thank you for tuning into the Tim Black Show. Man, what's going on here? Jesus Christ. All right, so we got the Tim Black WolfPack in the house. Let me first say what's up to my man, Buck Bewley, doing the moderating. What's up, Buck? Buck the Killer. Yo, what's up, Buck, man? How you doing, brother? Yo, anybody else in the building tonight? Who's here? Who is in the building tonight? Damn, it's crazy. What is going on? This is crazy, man. What's happening? What's happening? Arlene, Anthony, what's up? Sign of the times. Yeah, they got the YouTube glitch going on, people. The names are screwed up. But that's okay. That's all right. What is going on, man? Happy Sunday, WolfPack. Yo, can you hear me in the house? So we do what we do, even though the systems are janky. Tobias Grove, what's cracking? It is all love. I'm glad people showed up. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do on a Sunday evening. What's up, Rude? Sound is good. Thank you, Buck. Appreciate you, man. Wow. There we go. Tay Diggs in the house. I recognize Tay Diggs. Katie from Chicago is here. Thank you, Katie. Checking in. El Negro Hotep. my friend, my brother. El Negro Hotep is in the house. Yo, so yo, man, it's so El Negro Hotep. The Hotep Negro. I don't think you can be a Hotep and be white guy. I don't know, man. I don't know these things. Yo, so man, we back again to do it once again. If you're new to the show, we cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and of course, Black culture right here on the Tim Black Show. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays, we are here doing our thing. And we got the party people in the house, man. We have the party people in the house tonight, Johnson, doing what they do. Yeah, man. And I'm glad to have you, man. You know, we've been doing some heavy lifting lately. You know what I'm saying? And it's been going on, and we've been having some good shows. People have been coming through. The word has been spreading. I've been wondering, though, can I do more? Can I do a better job, and can the show expand and continue to grow? And I think the answer is yes, but I got to do certain things. So we're in a process of trying to get that work done. Why do something if you ain't going to do it well? You know? Going to do it well. So that's what we're trying to do here. The Tim Black WolfPack are the people that support the channel. They are members of the community, paid members of the community, starting at only $5 a month. They get access to the entire library of content that we put out, and I put out a lot of content. And those people are the backbone of the Tim Black Show because we don't have to rely on advertisers. And I get to give them exclusive stuff. And first crack at everything. And to be one, go to jointimblack.com. That's our Patreon site. You can also join on YouTube. Tonight's show is also brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. Politics for the people, not for the corporations. This is for the people. It's the legacy mug, right? While supplies last, get yours, $20 to your door. All right. Everyone who ordered one last week should have got it by now. And my granddaughter's helping me do the shipping. Her name is Naomi. Naomi helped us do the shipping. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Get the kids involved. She had a good time learning the experience, man. How it works, how the system works, how, we send out the emails when the orders come in, and then when they ship out to get an email, and just all the cool stuff that's involved in that. A great learning opportunity for the young lady. And the old man had a good time showing her. So give it up for Naomi. Yo, that's right. I'm trying to drink water during this show now. I think water is more refreshing. It may be better for me to do during the show as opposed to coffee. So we're trying a little cold water with some ice. They say that's a good way. Why did I tell y'all that? I don't know. You know what? Because I don't want people to think I'm sitting up here drinking scotch or vodka or something. Now, I ain't gonna say I never drank before, but I wouldn't be able to knock back scotches like on TV. In fact, on TV, they're using water too. You got to tell people because rumors get started. Oh, Tim was drunk as hell. He said I saw Tim on the Tim Black show. He was tore down. I ain't never know that boy to get that tore down on the show like that. Oh, shit. Maybe I should make you think that. That'd be great, right? Get a buzz going. Hey, man, I'll take the win any way I can get it, man. They say all publicity is good publicity, right? Either that or pay to have Charleston White come on my program. Or Dr. Umar. Yeah, man. One of those two. Or I could pay to go on the Shannon Sharp show. Oh, come on now, Tim. Oh, come on, Tim. Hell no, Tim. We'll bring you on my show, folks. It's the biggest podcast there ever's been. There's never been a podcast bigger than that, Skip. Why you want to act like that? I did not have relations. So, tonight's show is going to be something, I guess. Let me put the title up. I got these little banners, man. Where you at? Bam! Sizzling Sunday Scoop. I love it, man. It's got energy. Sizzling Sunday Scoop. Next week's hottest topic straight from the WolfPack. And yeah, it's dope because a member of the WolfPack sent me one of the clips I'm going to be using tonight, which is dope. I like a little bit of community participation in the shows. Helps me because I spend all day looking for content. So yeah, it is helpful. Y'all ready for some content? People still coming through. It's time. Hit the like button. Let people know that you're watching the Tim Black Show. Let them know that you are engaged. Let the algorithm know that, man, they doing something over there on that Tim Black Show, man. I don't think I quite knew that the Tim Black Show had it going on like that. Tim Black Show doing the damn thing, Johnson. What they doing over there doing the thing like that for? I didn't know the Tim Black Show had it going on. Well, now you know. All right, guys, let's get started right here, live.
On deck with Tim Black.
What should they take away is that the party leaders, Democrats who say they want to replace their party leaders, look at this, 62% nationally say yes compared to just 24% who say no. That lines up with the idea that Democrats view their own members of Congress, their own leaders in Congress, record low approval rating. Democrats right now are out for blood. They want to take out their party leaders. And you saw that with Andrew Cuomo going, adios, amigos, goodbye. See you later in New York this past Tuesday.
Yeah, Johnson. Now, look, this is a perfect indication of what's happening with the Democrats. It gives you further understanding why they're so angry. They don't like their own team. You know, If people are running around, it's one thing to not like the other side. It's another thing to not like the side you're on. Think about that. Think about that. That is the damn right depressing situation, Johnson. Yeah, they don't like themselves. Or who's running themselves. They dislike their own party leadership almost as much as they dislike Trump. And they're just like, we need new people. I don't care what we get, we need new people. These people right here suck. No, we don't suck. It's the people that's running us that suck. We do such a better job if only we had better people. So the problem with the Democratic Party is they got bad picking skills. And their IQ is like they're out of touch. It's like whatever Republicans like, the Democratic elites or the people that run their party, I don't know, they decided that's the horrible thing. Yeah, they got to go the opposite way of whatever way the Republicans go, which is kind of crazy because it's like there's some things that are just common sense, and you can't be afraid or upset that you are on the same side of an issue. But see, when you start doing that, they have problems because then they can't fundraise. It's hard to vilify people when you have things in common with them. Look, guys, I'll tell you, there are things, I may disagree with somebody on certain points, but I'm very much aware because we're human beings, there'll be other things that we probably agree on, at least to a certain extent. I mean, you know, if you're on a plane and it's going down, putting on a seatbelt is what everybody pretty much is going to want to do. Now, some people want to strap off the seatbelt, run around, you know, propose to people they don't know, try to get a last-minute kiss or something. I don't know. Other people want to lay on the ground in a prone position. I'm going to put on my seatbelt and hope that I, paid the dues. And a lot of other people probably choose the same thing, to hold someone close, hold someone's hand that they love, and just put their seatbelt on and say, hey, I love you and I hope to see you. Let's hope we survive this. And a lot of people would have the same idea, but see, the Democrats and Republicans are so toxic to one another that the Democrats would be like, oh, Republicans are holding hands and putting on seatbelts, we got to do something different. Because that's only evil people do that. No, that's what you're supposed to do. Put your seatbelt on. They just announced it. Oh, that's for fascists. So see, one of the problems with politics is you can't be honest. Can't tell the truth. And if that person is actually sane, if it's actually sane to say, hey, a woman historically has been a person who can give birth, or all things being equal, because that everybody can give birth, but have the organs to give birth. Yeah, if you can't say that, and you want to be a Supreme Court justice, I got a problem, because you are so damn politicized, you can't even tell me, is water wet? You be like, oh, define water. That's shit that fall from the sky, goofy. I really can't answer that question, because there's some waters, when you freeze them, they turn into ice. I didn't ask you, is ice wet? I asked you, is water wet? Well, when it evaporates up into the sky, it becomes a vapor. So see, you gotta tell me what stage. No. And see, that's the problem with the Democrats. After you go through all that, you be like, you know what? I don't even care what your answer is. I ain't vote for y'all. Y'all crazy. Y'all just crazy. We can't have a conversation. Now, when somebody asks you, they say, hey, define a woman, and you can't define a woman, they ain't gonna like your ass. It's not gonna be because you're a woman. It's not gonna be because you're a brown woman or a black woman. It's gonna be because you're crazy. And you're dishonest. And You're just kooky. We don't know where you're coming from, you know? So, all right. So the Democratic Party is suffering from an identity crisis, which is suffering from a crisis of leadership, is suffering from bad ideas, dying on dumbass mountains. I remember a couple years ago, like 6 years ago, start getting older, you lose track of time. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a while ago though. And I was on Twitter. It was before Elon took it over, and had a bunch of progressives following me. And I remember saying something like, you know, you can't tell white people, the white man or the black man or the yellow man. And somebody was like, Tim, you can't say yellow man. It's like, why not? They feel that's a slur. It's a slur to say yellow man. It ain't a slur to say white man or black man. Well, Tim, that's because you're old. I'm like, hold on a second. Nah, it's because you indoctrinated, dude. You believe shit that y'all made up. You didn't give everybody else the memo. That's bad enough, you making up rules without going through like rules, like going through announcements or going through a process. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know that's a slur? I do not agree that it is. Particularly in the context of what I was, in the way I used it. There are a lot of Asian people, there are a lot of different countries in you know what I meant. It wasn't like a shot at people that aren't black or white. It was just like, you know, relating them to the crayon box. We do it all the time. I'm actually don't look black. I'm brown skinned. But I'm called black. And white people do not look like white crayons. You know, unless they're dipped in milk. I don't know why I told that story, but the point is, those were Democrats. That's why I told the story. Those are Democrats. And Democrats, liberal, progressive, these people will make up stuff that tell you. You say it, even if you are their friend and they know you for years. They'll still come for your neck over the dumbest thing. That statement, that tweet did not hurt anybody. It was just sitting there on an app in the cloud. And still, they came at me as if I had went to someone's house and gentrified their neighborhood. They came for me like I squatted and took a dump on their Persian rug in their mother's house. They came for me like I was an ICE agent deporting their kids or their parents. And they weren't even Chinese. In fact, no one, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Taiwanese, said shit. It was a bunch of young, goofy, white and black people with no responsibilities, nothing else to do with their life except focus on the usage of words on an app they don't own towards people they are not, about things they really didn't give a shit about. But they were upset. And if you ask me, that's really why y'all losing. Democrats. Man, all right. You know what's dope about being Tim Black and doing this show? The dopest thing is you can just get in the car and just drive. You don't even have to have a destination. Trust the process. Just trust you're going to find a way home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, I just get in the car and be like, all right, baby, see you later. And I just drive, man. And sometimes I end up somewhere cool that makes sense. Like, oh, this is all right. All right. All right, you're pretty good. Sometimes I end up places like, uh-oh, I better stay in the car. Click, click. Click, 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 click. Lock the doors. Too many black people out there. Hell, now even worse. Too many poor white people out there. That's even worse. All right. The worst would be there's some cops out there, but you know what I'm saying, in the rear view. Oh, shit. Click, click. All right, guys, let's go to the next story. Tim Black. Here on the Tim Black Show, we are live. Remember, we do this 5 days a week, man. Be a part of this history-making show, Johnson. It is amazing, said I. I wouldn't be biased or nothing. Ain't no way, man. All right.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The mission was carried out with stealth and with precision. There were no American casualties. And while Congress is divided after receiving briefings on the extent of the damage, I'm sure that we've derailed Iran's nuclear program, at least temporarily. And there's some valuable deterrent effect for America's adversaries who witnessed last week's exercise. Then, last Tuesday, President Trump left the White House en route to Europe. At the time, there was a question as to whether Israel and Iran would honor a ceasefire. That caused the president to offer the most unfiltered, non-controversial, direct words that I can recall anybody ever saying about the Middle East.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Cut to The Hague, where he arrived for NATO meetings and was able to wrangle an agreement from our allies to more than double their defense spending target from 2% of gross domestic product to 5% by 2035. Also, while at NATO, in a press availability, he did something rare for Trump and I found rewarding. He showed empathy. It came in an exchange with a Ukrainian journalist who said that her husband was a soldier. She asked whether the U.S. would supply her country with Patriot missiles.
Are you living yourself now in Ukraine?
My husband is there.
Wow.
And
I can see you very, it's amazing.
And me with the kids, I'm in Warsaw actually, because he wanted me to be.
Is your husband a soldier? No?
He's
there now. They do want to have the missiles, okay, as they call them, the Patriots. And we're going to see if we can make some available. I wish you a lot of luck. I mean, I can see it's very upsetting to you. So say hello to your husband, okay?
Also in that presser, he was more reflective and respectful than usual of our allies.
They want to protect their country, and they need the United States. And without the United States, it's not going to be the same. And I left here differently. I left here saying that these people really love their countries. It's not a ripoff, and we're here to help them protect their country.
Back at home, Trump claimed that he's reached a trade deal with China and soon expects the same with India. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told Bloomberg that the deal was signed earlier this week. China's Commerce Ministry said Friday the two sides had further confirmed the details of the framework. Of course, Trump's initial imposition of tariffs wreaked havoc on American markets back in the spring. But now the markets have rebounded and grown. The S&P 500, NASDAQ hit record highs just yesterday. And it's not just the stock market. Inflation, the great economic fear of recent times, seems to be tamed. The rate is now reported at 2.4%, down from a high of 7% just 4 years ago. Meanwhile, blue-collar workers have seen real wage growth of 1.7% in Trump's first 5 months. This is the largest such increase in nearly 3 generations. Notwithstanding its impact on our national debt, there's also hope among some that Trump's big, beautiful bill will give further financial relief to blue-collar workers, as well as create incentives to build more factories in the U.S.
I don't have a problem with Trump's, off-color remark there talking about Israel and Iran. I find it, interesting, and it's kind of refreshing just to be like, whatever, who cares? Say whatever, say what's on your mind. Don't be so scripted. Don't be so locked into a certain type of word salad speak. And that's never been like Trump's thing. He doesn't do word salad. When Trump talks BS, it's just straight up BS. At least you understand what he's saying. It's that circular BS that we're used to. But yeah, so it's, so I'm still cool with, the occasional, F-bomb. And it's McConnell's put it, it's like, I never heard him use that before in that type of situation. So it don't seem played yet. But if he starts saying it all the time, well then, it loses all its effectiveness. But what I do take issue with is the whole Ukraine thing. Man, I thought we was going to get out of Ukraine. And see, that's what separates me and people that are truly Trump supporters. See, I'm not a Trump supporter. I just support some of the things Trump does. That's a different thing. Okay, I agree with some things he does. And those things I voice, I say. I'm not afraid to say when I agree with something. And I'm also not afraid to say when I disagree with something. See, kiss asses just agree with everything because that's where the money's at. So I disagree with us sending more money to Ukraine. I disagree with us in prolonging the ass kicking of Ukraine just for political points or whatever Trump is doing it for. I thought he was still trying to get us out of being entangled in Ukraine. That's what I thought. And now it seems like that's off the table for whatever reason. And now it's going back on that. It seems like it's time to be more whatever. Now, I get why he wasn't, short with the wife. That's her husband. He's a soldier. And she loves him and she cares and she wants him to have an opportunity to come back home and be alive to do so. And I don't have a problem with Trump being decent, not being an ass at the time. What I'm talking about is policy. Policy. And the policy, in my opinion, should not be to keep funding that damn Ukraine war. I feel if we could fund that war, we could be funding the poor. If we could fund that war, we could fund more job programs here for Black Americans. We could fund that. We could fund a way to help homeless people, Black and white, all homeless people in America. We're 40% of the homeless population, so yeah. These are things, if you're going to be investing in things, why not be investing in your people here? That's my complaint across the board for anything that Trump's administration puts money into, by the way. I'm real consistent on that. And I've been saying that about every president since I've been covering politics. And that would go all the way back to Obama. I'm not just saying it because Trump's in office. We got people saying things who were quiet 4 years ago or 2 years ago on those same issues. They were quiet. And now all of a sudden, they got a moral compass. And all of a sudden, they want to save the whales because it's a Trump in office and it won't be pointing fingers at Democrats.
Some already see this happening. For instance, General Electric has just announced that it'll invest almost $500 million in moving production of washing machines from China to Kentucky. And then there's the border. Crossings have slowed to a trickle. According to CBP's May update, Southwest border encounters have fallen to about 282 a day.
Hold on. Why don't we hearing about this everywhere, Johnson? I know there's people saying, Tim, I don't even like CNN. I didn't hear MSNBC report this. Hold on a second.
Machines, relief to blue-collar workers, as well as create incentives to build more factories in the U.S. Some already see this happening. For instance, General Electric has just announced that it'll invest almost $500 million in moving production of washing machines from China to Kentucky. And then there's the border. Crossings have slowed to a trickle. According to CBP's May update, Southwest border encounters have fallen to about 282 a day, a drop of 93% from last year and the lowest since the early 1960s. Perhaps the loudest cheering for those border numbers is coming from America's Latino community, which might initially sound counterintuitive. On Thursday, Pew Research released an enormous data analysis of the 2024 election, which contains several surprises. High on that list, President Trump won a bigger percentage of the Latino vote than previously believed. Hillary...
Hold everything. Hold everything. Folks, this is what I've been talking about, Johnson. That's why you can't trust social media, fam. Don't trust social media. Social media got you thinking because the algorithm on X and TikTok and Facebook are seeing you a bunch of Latino people pissed off because other Latinos who they don't know, typically, are being sent to the country where they came from because they are here illegally, or are self-deporting and going back through the process so that they don't hurt their chances of becoming permanent residents or citizens. That's what's going on. But the algorithm will make you think all these Latinos are going after black people and attacking black people and yada, 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 yada. This report that McConnell is about to share with you shows that an over-indexing of Latino voters wanted Trump to do just what Trump is doing. Then not everyone is upset. Be they Latino, black, white, or other, whatever. Right? Some people, this is what they wanted. See, we falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Let's go to the hard numbers. The hard numbers are going to be here. I've already watched this segment. I want you to check out the numbers of support Latino voters gave to Donald Trump. And what was Donald Trump running on? Was Donald Trump running? See, Democrats make it seem like Latinos didn't know what the hell they was voting for. They made that big mistake. Ay, caramba. Deportation. I didn't know he was going to do that. That's all he ever talked about. It's not even a secret. He was doing it his first term. Deportation, build a wall. What was the wall for? To hang pictures. Now the wall was to keep people out, or to keep us in. Get him out. Yeah. So that's always been a cornerstone of Trump's policies. The military-industrial complex, immigration, economy. That's it. That's it. Those are 3 points. And so the Democrats are disrespectful and don't have anything to run on. And they're out here saying that Latinos couldn't count to 3. Like they couldn't keep 3 things in their head at one time. Let's go, Johnson. Check it out.
Counterintuitive. On Thursday, Pew Research released an enormous data analysis of the 2024 election, which contained several surprises. High on that list, President Trump won a bigger percentage of the Latino vote than previously believed. Hillary Clinton had a 38% lead over Trump among Hispanics in 2016. Joe Biden beat Trump in this demo by 25 percentage points. Kamala Harris's margin among these same voters over Trump, just 3 points. Even more surprising, perhaps, Pew Research concludes that if everyone had voted in 2024, contrary to the widely held belief that higher turnout helps Democrats, Trump would still have won. The data show 44% of non-voters said that they would have gone for Trump compared to 40% of non-voters who would have gone for Harris. So if more had voted, his margin would have grown. Yesterday came a huge decision from the Supreme Court. The High Court declared that federal district judges exceeded their...
Man, I'm just trying to tell you, that's huge. It's huge to get that data, man. 35% swing. 35% swing. What was grossly different between 2020 and 2024? I'll tell you a couple things were grossly different. You just came off Joe Biden with that high inflation, and then you had that basically no border security. That's what you had. Those are the 2 things that are wrapped around the neck of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and he ducked out, or they kicked him out, he got thrown out, or hauled out, or dragged out, or he limped out, I don't know, or he just forgot where he parked. But he left the race, and Kamala was sitting there, holding a bag, talking about, I wouldn't change a thing. And Latinos was like, see, we'll change you. How about we change parties? Yeah. I'll change something. Parties. Adios. And that's what happened. But they want to make it about, uterus, and she's Indian, Asian, Indian, and all this stuff. And nah. No. Yeah. Well, you don't think it had anything to do with it? I don't think it was a supreme motivating factor. I don't think it was a supreme motivating factor. I think if her policies would have been amazing, if people were in line with those policies, it would have been a wholly different story. That's truly what I believe. I'm a person doing a show. I think it matters that I'm a black guy. I'm sorry. I'm a black guy. But I think if the show sucks, it sucks, no matter who you are. And if the show's good, yeah, it's kind of good no matter who you are. But you got to have capital and money to put behind your show to get the word out and all that type of stuff. There's things you need, but at the end of the day, can you cut it or can you not cut it? This is an interesting segment, man. CNN isn't all garbage. This is all right.
Authority when issuing nationwide injunctions against Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. This will, of course, strengthen executive power both for Trump and for his successors. And finally, a Democratic socialist just won the nomination for mayor of New York City. And perhaps you're wondering, well, how does that affect Trump? It gives him the perfect foil, someone to play off in future political battles. This morning's New York Post references campaign literature for Zohran Mamdani, which advocates for increased taxation for, quote, richer and whiter neighborhoods. Just imagine what Trump will do with that. Winning became a punchline that Trump's opponents used to lampoon him in his first administration.
Yeah.
He was a political novice then, surrounded by a team with which he was unfamiliar, and he was probably as surprised as the rest of us were that he won the election. This time is different. This time he came with a plan and a cabinet with senior advisors comprised of loyalists all well known to the president. And recently, he's exhibited a more layered approach to governing on both the domestic and international front, no longer solely guided by winning each day's news cycle. By any objective measure, President Trump has his opponents on the run.
Bam! Man, what a segment, Johnson. Give it up for that, Johnson. That's a dope segment right there. That's a pretty solid segment. So let me get this right. Zohran winning will help Trump because he gets somebody to point at and say, hey, look at that crap over there in New York. That's what Democrats have been doing with Trump this entire time, playing off of him in order to bring themselves up. Look at Jasmine Crockett. Look at Tim Walz. Who cares? I mean, so yeah, I see that. Important point that he made at the end there is something I've been saying here for years, guys. In fact, there's a lot that I say on this show that if we could just get a good PR team behind it, I think it will really go places and have legs. One of those things is that I was saying way prior to this was Donald Trump really benefited from having to sit 4 years off. See, those 4 years, he didn't sit around pouting. Of course, he was caught up in legal trouble, compliments of New York and, the great state of, Texas? No, Georgia. The great state of Georgia is in New York's judicial system, those attorney generals. But besides all that, he still used it as an opportunity to get his mind right. Yeah, Trump took those 4 years, hatching a plan. I ain't talking about Project 2025 either. I mean, the actual plan, actually focusing on what he would do if he was reelected. And then he executed on that plan. Yeah, so it was like you gave a guy all the incentive in the world by making it so if he didn't win, he was going to go to jail. And then you gave him time. Time to get his head right. Time to go through all scenarios. Time to get together a real team. Time to prep. Time to be ready. Time to come out the gates firing. And that's what happened. It's almost as if maybe it would have been better not to do mail-in ballots in 2020. Let Trump get reelected in 2020 and then not have Biden at all. And being able to gear up and get yourself a real candidate for 2024. Trump would have been out. He would have been termed out. And then the game continues. But at this point, I don't see the Democrats with their head right till like 2020, 2032 or something. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to take that long for them to have a viable person. It's just my opinion. Democratic Party is so disconnected from itself. It doesn't even like itself. Forget the voters on the other side. Forget independents and Republicans, the rest of the country, and people that don't vote that chose the couch. I'm saying Democrats don't like their own party. And they don't want to start a third party. They laugh at the idea of the third parties. So what you got? You got a bunch of disaffected voters who ain't going to come out. Wow. That's your politics. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, man. I really want to hear what your response is to this. So it looks like Trump's been winning. He's on a winning streak. It is continuing in the odds. And I want to dig into this GE. GE is bringing a washing machine manufacturing company from China to Kentucky. Guess what? That's what tariffs do. And guess what? It'll break jobs. And guess what? Joe jobs are going to pay more than they were paying for people in China. And guess what? They're going to have benefits. And guess what? Mic drop. That's what. And I guess that doesn't matter to you if you don't have a job, don't care about people having jobs, and just got all day to protest, be upset. Nah, man, people I know, folks I know, they need to live indoors. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. This is where I remind you, hit the like button, let the algorithm know that the show is on, that the Tim Black Show is putting out quality content. We got to get this algorithm up, man. I don't know what I think more people should know about this show. So help us out by hitting the like button or hitting the share button, whether you're on X, you're on YouTube, hit the like button, make a comment. We appreciate you. Okay. We're just getting started.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
This is the Louisiana State Police. We have a search warrant for 14468 LJ Drive. We have the house surrounded. Anyone inside, come out with your hands up with no weapons. Anyone inside, come out with your hands up.
Breaking news we're following tonight. A 9th inmate who escaped from a New Orleans jail has now been caught. Let's get right to Eva Pilgrim. And Eva, what more are you learning?
Well, that breaking news just coming in. Authorities saying they have captured Antoine Massey after 6 weeks on the run. This is the moment Massey and 9 other inmates escaped on May 16th, seen running out of the New Orleans jail. Their disappearance was not noticed for several hours. 33-year-old Massey was found today at a home in New Orleans. He was in jail for domestic abuse battery involving strangulation as well as theft of a motor vehicle. Videos had surfaced on social media earlier this month appearing to be Massey. That led to a failed raid. There's still one more inmate, a convicted murderer on the run tonight, but a major break so far in this case. Whit?
Sure is. Eva Pilgrim, thank you.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
And realize there's a...
I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I forgot he was even out. I'll be honest, man. How many people forgot this guy was even out? All right, so, Jesus Christ, what's that? I didn't even know the guy was loose still, man. Jesus Christ. He had a hell of a run, didn't he? They called him a $6,000 man. Okay, check it out. One of the final 2 escapees, this guy Massey, Antoine Massey, look, dog, this is his 3rd time escaping from a prison. 3rd time. A tip from a citizen to an Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, led law enforcement to the house in the city's 3rd district. He peacefully gave up to law enforcement who had surrounded the house. The residence is an Airbnb. Wow. So someone saw this, someone knew something, someone told, and dropped a dime to the sheriff herself. And then they put the mechanisms in motion in order to capture this guy. Man, what a story, man. This right here, folks, you're looking at a movie. This will be a movie. This will be coming out soon. If it's not, I'm surprised they ain't out already. I guess they had to catch him, right? First, I don't know. Hudson thanked the community and law enforcement partners for capturing Massey. Together we made this happen, and I'm grateful. I saw them transporting him in a helicopter. They didn't want to put him in a bus or in a car, in a squad car, and take him back. They put his ass in a helicopter. Yeah, if you get off this helicopter, you escape this helicopter, you're going to be on the rocks. Literally. Now, here's the thing. They say at the time of his escape, Macy was incarcerated for domestic abuse battery involving strangulation, theft of a motor vehicle, and a parole violation. Involved in strangulation. He choked somebody out? You mean like Daniel Penny? That what you mean? Oh, it was a domestic abuse, so it was somebody he lived with. Theft of a motor vehicle and parole violation. So he choked somebody out, and took the car and left. Doesn't sound that serious. I mean, it depends on how much you choke somebody out. You know what I mean? How much? Was it like that? Was it like, was it like Vin Rames, with Tyrese? Baby boy, was it like that? When he just choked him for a minute like that? Or was he just trying to night-night? Was he trying to night-night somebody for real? It depends, man. It depends, because you can't. I saw somebody made a post that they were rooting for Macy until they saw that he had been, one of his charges was grape. But his charge wasn't grape. It was domestic strangulation, which is totally different. I got to ask this question, man, because this is my first time reporting on it. Maybe other people they know more about the case than me. I got to ask, what kind of jail you running if 10 people can leave? 10 people left, 10 people escaped. And they ain't know so for several hours. How you not gonna know 10 people left? I can see if 2 people got out. You got one drunk deputy guard in the place. But 10 people left at one time. And that looked like a herd of people running. Y'all don't watch your own security cameras? That had to come from the security cameras. We still have one more, Kirkpatrick said during the briefing. We're going to capture you. You will be taken into custody, but you still have the option to peacefully turn yourself in, and we will make an appeal for you to do so. Last thing on this, man. Oh, wow. Authorities had increased the reward for information leading to the arrest of Massey and Groves to $50,000 per inmate. Well, I was wrong when I said he was a $6,000 man. He's a $50,000 man. If somebody wants a $50,000. Now, I didn't do it. Here's my thing, man, and I'm going to end it here. I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed he got caught because I'm not on that. I don't know him. He could be a good person. Maybe not. Or could be. Who knows? But I am disappointed that he got caught in New Orleans. Yeah, man, you've been gone for 6 weeks, right? And you couldn't even get out the state. Were you really trying to get away, or were you just trying to go viral? I mean, I'm just trying to understand, man. I know if they would grab me up in Maryland, I'd at least make it to Virginia. I mean, that's just me. I mean, in 6 weeks, I can see in 6 hours you couldn't get a car, you got a flat, somebody wouldn't give you an Uber, you had no gas money. But 6 weeks, dog, you still in New Orleans? I'm sorry, man. Well, Louisiana. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't get it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, man. That makes us look bad. Well, not us. I mean, convicts. Oh, you know, the escapers. Making escapers look bad. He was broke. Elizabeth said he was broke, but he know it still. He ain't had nowhere to go. When he was live streaming, could nobody give him a ride? A month, he could have got a job, dog. He could have got a job. If you out for 6 weeks, you could get a job, do some pickup work, something, cut some grass, something. You mean he couldn't get a bus ticket out of Louisiana? He could have walked out of Louisiana in 6 weeks. Man, just admit it. He wasn't trying to go. He didn't want to get away. I don't know his situation. I don't know the man. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds like he wasn't trying to. You couldn't get far. Okay. Let's keep going here on the Tim Black Show. Remember, we are doing this live on X. Hit us up. Contact us. As you know, TimBlackConsulting.com is open. TimBlackConsulting.com is available. If you're interested, if you need a voice, if you need advice, if you want to do what we're doing here today, if you want to be doing it yourself full-time, like I've been doing it myself full-time, going on 12, 13 years now, hit me up. TimBlackConsulting.com is the website. Go check it out. And with that, we will continue the show. Guys, ladies, people, Tim Black's WolfPack. The merchandise of the Tim Black WolfPack is available. Go to TimBlackPaws.com for our merchandise. Back with our signature t-shirt. The signature Tim Black WolfPack Wolf. That's my favorite best-selling merch item. It's the Tim Black WolfPack Wolf. You know, frankly, I got away from it for a bit. But I'm back at it. I think it's the original. It's the epitome. It's the thing that got it all started. People say Tim Black, it was something about it. It was rustic. It was rebellious. It was everything. It was like, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. Then we'll do that in the magic of making this a commercial. So go to TimBlackPaws.com, pick up your merch, your Tim Black merch at TimBlackPaws.com. Let's keep the party going, Johnson. We got a couple more stories to go. WolfPack. Shout out to the WolfPack.
Policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote.
Inmate, a convicted.
Eva Pilgrim, thank you.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
And realize there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed. We've seen time and again that this is a property tax system that is inequitable. It's one that actually Eric Adams ran on saying that he would change in the first 100 days. He's since sought to defend it and lost at every juncture in court.
And I understand you're saying we're simply describing the types of neighborhoods that would see these increase in taxes, and yet by invoking race, do you run the risk of potentially alienating key constituents?
I think I'm just naming things as they are. And ultimately, my the thing that motivates me in this is to create a system of fairness. It is not to work backwards from a racial assessment of neighborhoods or our city. Rather, it's to ensure that we actually have an equal playing field. And right now what we see with the property tax system is one that is overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
So no plans to change that language on your website?
The focus here is to actually ensure a fair property tax system, and that the use of that language is just an assessment of the neighborhood.
All right.
Okay, so check this out, guys, and this is what's, I get what he's saying, right? He's saying we want to tax these neighborhoods, and they are white neighborhoods. We're not taxing them because they're white neighborhoods. We're taxing them because they're rich neighborhoods. And the rich neighborhoods tend to be the whitest neighborhoods. Right? And what's crazy about it is, guess who voted for him? Rich whites. He couldn't pay black people to vote for him. Because he wasn't talking to black people. He didn't. He talked to immigrants. He talked to rich white people. Look at all the rallies. Look at all the happy people, all the people that were celebrating. They were all well-to-do young white people. That's what it was. It is what it is. We got these people that want to, I don't know, go through their second childhood, like Nas would say. I don't know what's going on with them, but their thinking definitely is young. They believe that, I don't know, that this type of socialistic planning is, it's going to really pull black voters in because it's socialism as opposed to capitalism. But I don't know if they really sell it to black people. Not really. But we'll get more into that. My thing is, let's just look at this topic. The topic is, does he have to use that type of language? And what is he trying to do when he does that? I mean, he could just say, we're going to tax the rich neighborhoods because they're undertaxed. Why not just leave it there? I think he wants to have the veneer of going after the whites without going after the whites. I mean, tell me what you think. When you say, hey, we're gonna go after the rich, who are you thinking he's talking about? Well, in New York, it could be anybody. But one thing he did not do was back down. He did not change up. He didn't start backtracking. He didn't switch it up. He just kept it 100 and said, hey, we talk about the type of neighborhood it is what it is. We're defining the neighborhood. We're explaining the neighborhood it is, but we're not going after it because of the neighborhood makeup. We're going after it because of the economics of the neighborhood. That's the key. When you walk into a neighborhood and you see a bunch of Italians there, you're in an Italian neighborhood. But that Italian neighborhood is the neighborhood that has this thing going on in it. But we're not there because they're Italians. We're there because of the thing that's going on in this Italian neighborhood. So I get what he's trying to say, but we know when it's heard, when it triggers. It don't think Zoran doesn't know it triggers that. That's all I'm saying. I got people defending him, acting as if he's a goofy. Like he don't know that when you say we're going to this white neighborhood to tax them, we're gonna be taxing the whites, that white people won't go like, hey. People acting like that's not a natural reaction for people to have. If he says that, that's what people, it's just the defenders, they twist themselves so badly. It's sort of like when I put it on when Charlie Kirk said that Supreme Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was a diversity hire, and I pointed out that when Biden nominated her, he said, I told you I was going to nominate a black woman and we got it done. And as one of my people said, Tim, all he had to do was not say it. Well, if he doesn't say it, he can't get brownie points. He can't, big himself up to black community as if they can't see. Yeah, like If you don't say, I need to get a black woman, if you just go get one, then no one goes, oh, okay, so you got a black woman. But if you go, I got to get a black woman, they're like, what's wrong with white women? Nothing, but I got to get a black woman. It's like, okay, so when you get the black woman, they're like, I knew you was going to get a black woman. But you said you was going to get a black woman. I'm just saying, it's just people want to defend things. When the person who's doing it knew damn well what they were doing and saw the upside of doing it, and don't tell me politicians don't know what the hell they doing. Just like Biden knew what he was saying and why he said it, we gonna get a black woman and we got it done. He knew what he was doing. He did it for a reason. Zoran is now a politician. He was a politician before he ran for mayor, by the way. He's a politician too. He said that on his website in writing because they wanted to say it. Y'all already starting to sound goofy. When you twist your body into different positions to deny reality. All right, let's keep going, guys. So we're going to have a problem with him because we're going to have goofies defending him. Well, he ain't defending himself. He like, it is what it is. Y'all going to defend him. Y'all spend all day defending him, but he going to be like, I said that shit before. Yeah, that's what it is. Give me some more rice.
City-run grocery stores, I've proposed a pilot program of one store in each borough. These are 5 stores in total. The total cost of this is $60 million. This is less than half the cost of what the city is already set to spend on a subsidy program for corporate supermarkets that has no guarantee of cheaper prices or collective bargaining agreements or even accepting
So
SNAP
you're not
or WIC.
looking at some like Soviet Union grocery stores on every corner that are going to be run by the government.
No, what I'm looking at is how to solve the very clear twin crises of affordability when you go to the grocery store and food deserts, which disproportionately impact Black and brown New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs.
Next on deck.
I got a comment on this one. Yeah, I got a comment on this one because this is where we got to call balls and strikes. He's right on this. Everyone I saw reporting on this whole thing about the supermarkets and Zoran, they were making it sound like he was going to be doing something crazy. Oh no, supermarkets run by the government. Let me get this right. He said New York was in line to do a $60 million subsidy by, supermarket corporations. A subsidy. He's going to pay them money, a program, a $60 million program to get supermarkets in the 5 boroughs. He said instead of doing that, he's going to spend a third of the money and open up supermarkets run by the government instead of giving money to corporations. And since it's going to be run by the government, it's going to get the best prices, which means the food will be cheaper. Folks, I'm trying to find, I want to know what you're upset about. What is it with these Republicans and conservatives and the goofies and some of the independents that just love corporations so much that you just got to give it a lap dance? Like anything that takes money, I'm sorry, man. I don't even know the name of the food corporations, but Wegmans don't need more government subsidies. I'm gonna put that out there. Neither does Safeway, Giant, or Food Lion, or Wise, or Weeze, whatever you call it. Don't even know how to pronounce that. They don't need more money from us. They don't need government money to fund and subsidize them to come in and make money. You understand what I'm saying? New York was gonna pay $60 million to pay corporations to come in and do what they do, which they already go profit from. He's saying instead of paying them to come in and set up shop in our city, we're gonna take government money and put it in the government and hire people. People gotta work there, not machines. People gonna work I don't see the problem. At the end of the day, there's a supermarket there. Why are you so worried that it's run by the government? You feel more comfortable when it's run by a chain. I don't get it. You must not know corporations screw over people too. Like, I know some things with the government are reliable, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. But there's an incentive not to overcharge the customer. And they're probably going to get the best price for goods because it's government. I don't know. That's how I see it. So all the criticism on him on this, I'll say the majority of the criticism about this is just fear-mongering coming from the right wing because they see this guy coming and they're like, we got to stop him now. We got to stop him. And they want to demonize what sounds like a cheaper, more reliable route. And it just makes sense. And I don't give a damn if corporations get more money. I don't want them to. So why are you fighting for the corporations? Oh, I get it. Look, man, I'm a Democratic Party hater. I'm on the record as being a Democratic Party hater. But you know what I hate just as much, if not more? Hacks and sellouts to corporations. And that's exactly what you sound like. Dogging him out for wanting to save New Yorkers money and not giving subsidies to corporations. Now, man, if you're for the people, you don't even get caught up on this one. This is something you shouldn't even be tripping off of. Let me know if I'm missing something, guys. I could be. If I'm missing something and there's some new information that comes in, please send it my way. I'm open. But the way he explained that, I think it's perfectly good sense. Long overdue. Next.
With Tim Black.
America, please get me out of this place. I'm tired. I'm losing my shit. Tired. I'm fucking 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 tired.
Next.
You know, I'm tired of you overreacting. Yeah, this is a typical reaction of the overly emotional Democrat going through a pre-midlife crisis. Realizing, one, they don't have, like, common sense. But more than that, they don't have a man, they don't have happiness, they don't have anything. But what they do have are a list of grievances. Grievances that they fostered over a long career. Grievances that make them a problem for people like us. If you turn yourself in now, I won't vote for you. I won't kill you. But if you don't, I will find you. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. I don't know. That Liam Neeson line came to mind there somewhere. Here's the thing, guys. Shut up, lady. Yeah, shut up. These are one of those people that didn't realize America sucked before Trump. Yeah, this is one of these people that I guess they were living, she was so high the last 10 years of her life, she didn't realize, people were poor and living in the streets before Trump. She didn't realize there wasn't racial harmony in the streets. Sometimes it was, but sometimes it weren't. Bad things been happening to good people and bad people and all people for a long time. But for some reason, she was oblivious. It's just the common overreaction by the Democrats. I looked at her page on TikTok, sad. It's just sad. This is her most viewed video. So the algorithm loves to feed a person destroying themselves and destroying their own property over shit that don't even really impact their life. If you really don't like politics and Trump has you so down, there is a solution. Turn the channel. Focus on making your life better. Focus on doing great things for the people that you see and interact with every day. See, that's the hard part, right? Because now you got to actually do shit instead of sit back and complain. Folks, the next segment is going to be our final segment, but it's the prime segment of the show tonight. One of the Tim Black WolfPack sent me this clip. And I got to tell you, man, I feel very vindicated in it because it's going to touch on some things we've been talking about on the show before. And maybe now it'll resonate now because, well, somebody besides Tim Black is saying it. Here we go. This will probably go viral.
On deck with Tim Black.
The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report.
The Black Truth Report.
And the Republicans should take a note. Andrew Cuomo's up there looking like a guy who runs a diner in Carl Place, Long Island, stammering, trying to defend himself against, 13 women who he goosed while they were online for fucking chicken franchise at the Christmas party. He looks old and out of touch. He's talking about going to Israel as soon as he takes the oath of office. He's going to take it on a plane on El Al on the way to Israel. It doesn't look good. Read the room. Read the room a little bit. People that are broke in New York are concerned about New York. You know? So the coalition there, and it's not black people. They voted largely for Cuomo. And here's, in my estimation, why. There is no group of people in America who are owed more than black people and have gotten less. There's not one group. We've spent the last few years talking about Latinos who have now passed black people as a voting bloc and an economic bloc. Yep. We now talk only about immigrants coming from other countries. Yep. We speak about Jews and Muslims, frankly, more than American-born black people. Yep. They know that the conversation has moved on from them. Mamdani is talking about immigrants more than black people.
Yeah.
They know that. They're not stupid. They're well aware that the Democratic Party's kind of moved on a little bit from black people.
Yeah.
They get it.
Uh-huh.
They get it.
Yeah, some of them.
They're going, we pick up what you're putting down. So I think Cuomo to them has name recognition and they understand that this is going in the direction that doesn't include them. The Democrats are building a coalition that doesn't include black people. They know it. They're well aware of it. It's coastal, educated, college educated. I'm not saying smart. I'm saying educated white people and illegal immigrants. That's all. That's their coalition. It's not the worst coalition. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does include black people. It's people in the GLBTQ IA2 world. It's educated white people, and it's immigrants. That's primarily the Democratic coalition. That's all they're talking about ever. They talk about low-income people, but I mean, it's like, But it's really the cultural energies behind immigration. And Zoran's like, we're going to Trump-proof New York because he might cut our federal funding. And listen, I'm an opponent of those barbaric ICE raids. I think they're fucked up. But I do think criminals need to be deported. And I also think criminals will have wives and kids. So a guy that's wanted for attempted murder, whenever goes, oh, that woman's pregnant. They went to her house. It's like, a pregnant mother, yes, but her husband was wanted for attempted murder. So there are going to be situations where, shockingly, murderers and people that have been violent have also procreated. And that, Yeah. So it's just going to be a situation where it's like, but he's a father. It's like, yeah, okay. You know who's a father? Putin. Putin's a father.
Next.
Yeah, I love this, man, because this is something I've been saying. I've been saying it for a couple years now. And I don't know if Tim Dillon's a watcher of the show. Whenever I'm up at night Googling, when I put in Tim, there's a couple Tims that come up. Of course, Tim Black, but Tim Dillon and Tim Pool. So Tim Dillon I find a lot more interesting than Tim Pool. That being said, spot on here. Maybe Tim Dillon was Googling his name and came across Tim Black. And he realized, hey, some black people do know what's going on. They do realize they're being replaced. They do realize that they're being outpaced. They do realize that Hispanic Americans are the primary beneficiary of things. And it's smart. He said smart black people get it. Black people are smart. Well, not all of us. Some of them still follow Al Sharpton and now Jamal Bryant into a road leading nowhere except to their own personal bank accounts. Some of them don't get it. The Democratic Party, as Tim points out, their coalition does not include black people. We are an afterthought. LGBTQ, college educated, and illegal immigrants. And then he went on later to say just immigrants. That's their coalition. That's why they brought in 10 million new people. That's what they were hoping to do. And Trump sees it and says, hey, this can't last. I'm not even going to say that Trump did. I'm not even going to say Trump's focus on immigration has to do with as much as saving jobs as it may do with avoiding Democrats being able to pad elections. But there could be multiple reasons, right? And you know what I'm saying? Could be multiple reasons why you do a thing. You could exercise every day to look good and to be healthy. Doesn't have to be one thing. And it could be both things. And it also could be to get out the house. It also could be because there's some cute women out there on the track. Where was I? Anyway, that's the point, man. The point is that Tim Dillon's right. So is Tim Black. And what's bad are the number of black Americans who can't seem to get this point through their heads. They don't understand it. They don't want to let go of the past. The Democrats have let you go. You can continue to be. Black Americans, you can continue to be, particularly my boomers and my late Gen Xers that are slow to the draw. You can continue to be in love with her, but she done moved on, man. She got a new man. She done with you. Bye. See ya. She changed the locks. Now, you want to sit outside? You want to be a stalker? That's what you want to do? Or you want to move on? Or you want to get in where you fit in? Man, the choice is yours. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I say you get with this because this is where it's at. Tim Dillon put it down, man, and I respect it. I'm glad to hear someone else say it. Maybe now to resonate. Maybe now to go viral. Check the archives. I've been talking about this. It's part of the urgency. It's part of why I've been saying black people need to get out of the Democratic Party, because they have gotten out of you. I don't know if we made it clear enough for you. They already left you. You're still in an emotional relationship with a party that's no longer focused on you. I told you, in 1970, the average black family, 1950, give me 20 more years. In 1950, average black family, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. In 2020, last time we did the survey, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. We ain't moved an inch voting for the Democrats. Meanwhile, the Hispanics have started coming to the country during that time period, and guess what? They're at 50% home ownership. You heard Tim say it, Tim Dillon say it, you heard the other Tim say it, you heard me say it, it's been said, you can Google it, it's what it is. Now, I don't know how you keep score, but houses would be a good way to keep score. Not who got to host the Grammys the most, not who has more Tyler Perry movies, not who was the Final Five or the Final Four, whatever challenge. Who got the best TikTok dance? These things don't matter. We gotta get stuck. We gotta get unstuck from stupid at some point. We don't need symbols. We need solutions. Part of the solutions is waking up to the fact you have no party. Therefore, you have to act independently and form a new bloc that votes its best interest. It's not that our votes don't matter. It's not that our money doesn't matter. It's not that they feel like, why focus on you? We got you in our pocket. That's the lesson. They'll still take your advocacy. They'll take Jasmine Crockett being a crash test dummy. They'll take Letitia James throwing away her career on a fool's errand. They'll take Fonnie Willis making a fool out of herself. They'll take all of the black women crashing and burning for the Democrats while giving them nothing for it. And they'll take black votes. They'll take black support. And they'll take you riding and dying on social, acting like a fool. Meanwhile, the numbers show when it comes to policies, who's winning when those policies have greatly more impacted white women, LGBTQ, and illegal immigrants. It is what it is. But what I've noticed, and you know, and a brother who's been doing this, who's been talking this way consistently for years, I should be at 500,000. I should be at 2 million. This show should be the biggest thing on the internet for Black America. It is not. Not because it's not good, because the gatekeepers don't want it to be. They legitimately, people that wanted to work with me to get this message out, legitimately stop returning my phone calls when they get pressured by others. Yeah. It's not because I'm wrong, Johnson. It's not because I did something to somebody. I haven't, and I'm not. It's because I'm right. And they don't want you to know. They don't want this message to grow. Let's keep going. Tim Dillon says more. I kept watching. Tim Dillon said more. Shout out to the member of the WolfPack that sent me this. In fact, I'm going to look your name up next. I'm going to give a shout out to that person after this. But Tim Dillon goes further. Let's listen to more Tim Dillon. The other Tim, put it down.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
First, and then they're in there. Havana, Kila. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. What are you going to do? It is what it is. Everybody's, as long as everybody's happy. Do I think it's a good idea to go, to start building schools in Iran? No. But that's good. We just did a bomb. Did it get rid of the thing? Who gives a fuck? Probably, kind of. What do you care about? Enough. Take the win. But it's just about, you know what it is. It's just about, to me, what says more about the political stuff is what's behind it. So you have these people that are all like, they went to school. They were told they were very special people and talented, and they got into the right schools and got the right degrees. And now they're like paying $29 for a sandwich in New York City, and they're pissed. They got to take shit from some boss. And New York makes you envious like no place. And by the way, I'm not talking about the people who genuinely need help in this city. Okay? The black people that the Democratic Party don't give a shit about, whose lives, a lot of them are fully responsible for the degradation of African-American communities, and do deserve a lot more than the government does. I'm not talking about those people. And I'm not talking about the people that suffer under a healthcare system. I'm talking about now people that are envious, as I am. I'm an envious. We all envy. And the people that don't admit it are liars. I envy people. I do my podcast in a building with a lot of finance people. And I understand, and they make more money than me. Why would that be the case? Because we live in a sick society. But that envy, New York City breeds it. Because the richest people in the world live here. The richest, wealthiest people, and I don't mean only in America, all over the world, live here. people talk shit to you here and down to you in accents from all over the globe. You get insulted here in different languages because it's a global city.
Look, guys, the secret is out, and people are aware of it. I want to thank Tim Dillon for putting out this content, man. It's good to hear somebody saying the truth. Yeah, Black Americans are the other group of people that are more obligation. America has a more obligation to Black Americans more than any other group in America. And what people did was they used that as collateral to help themselves instead of help Black people. You've been sold out by Black people. Look, any person from, one of the things you'll notice if you take time, do this, man. When you got a couple hours to spare, go look at Africa. Look at the complaints of Africans about Africa and about those different countries and about their governments and about their officials. And you will see there is a long-standing history of Africans selling other Africans out for the wealth, the whatever. These are very rich companies. I'm sorry, very rich countries in Africa selling out the citizens in those countries, and meanwhile keeping the money for themselves. And then look at Latin America. There are rich areas of Latin America, same thing. There are rich places all over the globe where people do that. That's the same thing that happened to Black Americans in the U.S. Same exact thing. The minerals and the riches that Black Americans have is the legacy of pain and suffering, what was done to Black Americans, which gives us a moral authority, which gives us the soul, which from that came all forms of music, great inventions, a history, a creative artistry that's different than anyone else on the planet. All right, so we have that, right? What happened was in the 60s, the late 60s into the 70s, people like Al Sharpton have taken it and commodified it and turned it into a commodity to sell for themselves. And say, well, you know what, we're going to let you. What Jim Clyburn did was he commodified pain and suffering of the civil rights era and handed it like a gift to Biden, as long as Biden helped him, as long as it benefited him and his chosen people that he had in place. And that's what Biden did. And then Biden took that entree to the Black community and used that to go to the presidency. Clyburn's not the first person to do it. Al Sharpton does it too. Why do you think Al Sharpton's on MSNBC? Is Al Sharpton on MSNBC because he's an amazing commentator? He has important things to say? Because he's such a dynamic interviewer? No, he's not. None of the above is true. It's because he has that moral authority being dripped, laced with the civil rights movement that he's laid claim to. And then we have Black people that think, hey, Al Sharpton, he fought for us. Remember that time he went marching? Every time somebody Black get killed, here he is. He rides for us. He's taking that moral authority that white Americans just don't have, because by and large, so many people in their group have been benefiting from pain and suffering of others. They just don't have it. The only thing that Black America has left is that moral authority. And we got to stop letting certain people in certain Black Americans use it to sell us out while they enrich themselves. There is no reason why Black Americans have not moved 10, 20% in home ownership. There's no reason at all. You can walk around in life believing that these things are done by accident and nothing's controlling anything, and this is just the way the cookie crumbles. Or you can be a thinking person that can realize that in America, with a country as rich as America, things that happen are intentional. Things that happen do not just happen out of the blue. We print our own money. There's a scene from that Jack Nicholson movie. Is it The Departed? Yeah, I think it's The Departed. And I forget exactly what happened in the scene, but Jack Nicholson plays this horrible character. There's two scenes. One of the scenes was, and I'm gonna butcher it a little bit, but I think I'm gonna get the point. One of the scenes was Jack Nicholson said, and it's a voiceover. He said, if I had any complaints about the blacks, it'll be this. No one gives it to you. You got to take it. The other one was, and once again, this one I'm paraphrasing. And this wasn't directed towards Black Americans, but I took it that way. And I apply something to my life. It doesn't have to be exactly for us. But this is one to grow on. He said, this reminds me of America. And he said, and I forget the context, but he says, you know how many people had to die for me to be me? And I sat with that for a moment. Do you know how many people had to die for me to be me? It was almost like an indignity. How you gonna try to lock me up, man? You know how many people I had to kill to get to do this? You know how many people died? I was like, damn, I gotta kill you. Because if I don't kill you, I'm not gonna be able to be this. And it would be disrespect for me to take your life and not be this thing, because that's the whole point. Now that ate you and didn't. Now I slaughtered an animal, but I'm not going to eat it. You got to eat the animal. Get what I'm saying? So to those black folks that have sold us out time and time again, yet they benefited, they've grown, their business is booming, they are expanding, they live in the life, us not so much. Haven't moved in home ownership, haven't moved in life expectancy. You know how many people had to die? You realize how many people had to die for Al Sharpton to be Al Sharpton? You know how many black people had to be underserved for Al Sharpton to be Al Sharpton, for Rolling to be Rolling, for Clyburn to be Clyburn, for Obama to be Obama. You realize how many people lay in the wake. How many people lay in... Hey, man, it gets deep. It gets deep. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope it resonates with you. It applies to all. But, man, I think Tim Dillon is on to something, man. I think this is going to go viral. And, look, if it's not going to be me saying it that makes it go viral, maybe it's the way he said it. Or maybe it's the complexion for the protection from the collection. I don't know. It could be a series of things. It could be the lighting. Maybe I need a cool beach background. But all I know is I need that message out. And anybody saying that message, I'm bigging it up because it's important for black people to accept. That train has left the building. The train's gone without you. Accept it. You didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Well, now what you gonna do? All right, go independent here with the Tim Black Show, where we focus on solutions, not symbols. All right, go to jointimblack.com. timblacktv.com. Become a member of the Tim Black Show. Starting only $5 a month, get all our content delivered to your Patreon profile. Bam! All right, let's go to comments, man. Feeling good, Johnson. We did it. Black America's blood, sweat of the U.S. Emancipation Proclamation. Disappearing train whistle. Go ahead, Tobias. Not on Burger King. The boycott was a lie. Yeah. But it was a lucrative lie. The ancestors are happy and glad they are now being heard. Black Americans are a rock to this great nation. Stick together, family. There you go, family. I love it. And on that note, man, on that note, I don't know if anybody God. Black Americans who vote Democrat are voting against themselves. Oh, man. Black people don't want to lose their ability to control the vote once we vote independently. I don't know. I might just sit with that one. I don't think if we don't vote for the Democrats, now they still had this thing called exit polls. And as long as there's exit polls to show who voted what way, parties that want to win elections will try to win elections. And we need to, it's not just who we vote for, it's the policies that that party employs, that they put into practice. Get what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. It's not just who wins or who loses. It's about the policies. We need GE to bring back manufacturing. That's good. That won't be happening under Biden or Kamala. More globalism, more sending jobs away and then saying, we don't need them jobs. Black people don't work those jobs. White Americans don't work those jobs. We above those jobs. Meanwhile, what happens? As soon as those jobs become open, Americans fill them. Because it's all a lie. They're lying when they say, these people only do these, they only pick crops. They got machines that pick crops, y'all. I don't know, where have people been? People get to lie to us when we don't know things. There are actual machines used to pick crops. This isn't 1942. All right, man, I'm done, man. I got nothing but love for everybody. Glad you've been here tonight. Glad to see you. We're going to keep the party going. Look, guys, like I always say, every night, it's the same thing, man. Who? Tim did it. Oh, I'm sorry. And my clip this week was provided by none other than Tim Black WolfPack member Bill. I must use Bill's first name because I don't have his permission. I didn't ask it, but there's a lot of Bills. But Bill, you know who you are. Thank you for supplying that clip of Tim Dillon, sending that email and letting me know. And anybody else, email me at tim@timblacktv.com and send your story suggestions there. All right, that's it. I'm done. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread, son. Sis, that's your cornbread. Don't let anybody take that. Take that, take that, take that. And as always, I gotta say, where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, here they go.